Dan Greider, Probable Cause, glad to have you with us on yet another AQP ride-along video. What is a ride-along video? This is number 5 in the series. I hope to keep on doing these occasionally. This is where we take an actual airplane and go out and fly and illustrate and demonstrate some of the AQP concepts. This one came out really nice. I had the opportunity to go up to Dixon, Tennessee and visit my CFI friend Toby Rice. I put him in the airplane with Dylan and cut them loose to go film whatever. We turned the camera on and sent them out to go fly. So I'm going to show you the briefing for this. This is a classic. I want you to watch this whole thing because this is basically, if you master everything that Toby did to Dylan in this video, you have a 99% chance of being very, very safe in your general aviation airplane. It's not a long video. It's very easy to see exactly what he did. I'm very happy with the concept of this. Ironically, both the people in this video, they're both 24 years old. If they can do it, you can do it. We have got to do a better job of staying alive. I want to ask you for some help on my support here. For general aviation, I go out and travel. This week we were up there in Bowling Green speaking at a EAA chapter. The travel, I basically burnt 4 days and a whole bunch of money to getting this stuff done and getting this ride-along video done. The concept is not to put these behind a pay curtain, make them all the content free without ads for everybody so that the younger people, the struggling people, the flight students, the new people can watch these videos and learn from this content for free. If you're successful in life and are set and you can afford $1 or $2 towards these videos, I appreciate that. If not, that's totally cool too. That's the method that I've chose to try to substantiate being able to continue putting the money into these. So here's your opportunities to do that, and I appreciate all you people who have in the past given $1 and $2, and a few people have given a few dollars more. That's fine. Really, a $1 or $2 donation towards a video like this after you see it is appropriate. Remember, you can always put your comments on there. Whenever you do one of these little electronic things, you can add your comments. So if you'd like to insult me, that's a perfect place to do it. Here's the 4 methods I have of doing that, and then we'll get right to the video. That's Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. And I sure appreciate it. Let's get straight to the video. Here we go. Down here in Dixon, Tennessee with Toby Rice, the fiddle player. Today's ride-along video. Toby, I got a job for you. I want you to go out and fly the Cherokee with Dylan. I got the killer AQP items that I want you to give to him. Be ruthless. I want you to distract him. I want you to give him the 6 killer items. I'm going to tell you what they are here. I want you to give him a rejected takeoff, a rotot, a low tot, unintentional IMC after takeoff, take him up above the airport at 3,000 feet, chop a throttle, see if he can make a spot landing. Out of the spot landing, I want you to give him a go-around, check his go-around, and after that, bring him around for a stabilized approach. See if he can fly VREF to VREF plus a little bit. All on that, put it all on camera. I'll be on the ground. I'm going to film you from on the ground. I want you to go out and do that with Dylan. Let's not tell him what but I want you to be hard on him on distractions and see if you can get him to screw this stuff up. You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's do it.
Okay, let's go do it. Okay, here we go.
Okay, after start checklist, throttle is 900. That's good. Oil pressure is checked. Fuel pump is off. Make sure it's lean 1 inch. Radios are on. Transponders mode C. After start checklist complete. Before taxi checklist, flaps set. We're going to go and set 10 degrees. Avionics are on and set. Our AWOS is
Weather observation
1.387. That's right.
8 Zulu.
That's right.
Wind 050 at 9 knots. Visibility more than 10. Sky condition few at 3,200. Temperature 14 Celsius. Dew point 6 Celsius. Altimeter 3020. Inches of mercury.
Dixon.
Okay. Weather's wind is 050 at 9, so we're going to use runway 35. Fuel selector fullest tank. Got our right tank, which is fullest. We're on right tank now. ASOS obtained. Airspeed indicators set, checked. Heading indicator 0 or 175. Go and set that. 175 set. Attitude indicator set. Altimeter set, checked. Before taxi checklist confirmed. So we're going to go and taxi to 35 if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Dixon traffic 826, 4 number taxiing to runway 35 via output from the FBO. Dixon traffic.
Clear right.
Clear right. Clear.
All your flaps set intentionally.
Flaps are set intentionally.
Alright, so you hang off 10 degrees of flaps.
10 degrees.
Is that in the checklist?
It is. It's not really required, but that's kind of just something we started doing.
Interesting.
And then, yeah, and then we just remove them after takeoff. Just a little added lift if you got high density altitude or something like that.
Sure, sure. I typically just use 25 degrees of flaps on the short field or soft field. And
Yeah.
I use nothing for everything else, but
Yeah, that's what most people do. Yeah, I don't know the science behind it, but that's just the way I was taught.
sure. So as a pro tip for check ride purposes, that's just the way I was taught. It's not an acceptable answer on a check ride. You gotta have reasons.
Okay, yeah.
And if it's not in the POH, you can prove it in the POH.
Yep.
Be careful with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into it. Does it go all the way to the end here?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll take our extra runway. Alright, we'll do a run up and check our instruments, do our before takeoff checklist. Alright, run up checklist, parking brake is set, landing lights are off, flight instruments are checked and set. We got this more than a 9.5, looks like a 9.60 heading.
You mean 096?
096, that's right.
Yeah.
Alright, looks good. Attitude indicator set. And mixture full rich. Throttle 2000. Looking for oil pressure and RPMs. 2000. Left. Both. Right. Both. RP. Off. Good, oil pressure good, fuel pressure is good. Okay, run up checklist complete. Alright, that checklist is done. Before takeoff checklist, controls free and correct. Watch your knees. Good. Attitude indicator is set. Heading indicator. 095, still looks good. Trim set for takeoff, that's good. Flap set for takeoff, 10 degrees, we're going to keep that. Doors closed and latched. You got your latch right there, that's open. In case of emergency, you got to flip that latch before opening the door. Fuel sector pulse tank, we're on right tank with 10 gallons and 18 gallons total. Car feed is off, mags are on both. Passenger brief. I have the controls until you say you have the controls. Once you have the controls, I'll say you have the controls. Once we have that positive exchange of controls, then you have the airplane. Projected takeoff brief. We want 60 miles per hour or 2,400 RPM by 50% of the runway. So we should have it well before the hangars. If we don't have it before the hangars, it's an aborted takeoff. We'll pull the throttle back, put the brakes on. We don't see 60 miles per hour or 2,400 RPM before that point, or if we don't have good oil pressure or fuel pressure. Lost thrust on takeoff brief. There it is, push. I will lose an engine on takeoff. When I do, there it is, push. Fly the airplane all the way to the crash. Just to the north of the airport, about a quarter mile, we've got a couple grass fields we can land in with the wind, into the wind. So when that happens, push, fly the airplane all the way to the crash without stalling the airplane. Lost thrust and takeoff brief complete. Gross weight, we're at 59%. Density altitude is 800 feet. Fuel on board, we've got 3 hours plus reserve fuel. Hot items, before takeoff checklist is complete. Hot items, mixture, full rich, landing light on, fuel pump on. Final is clear, and parking brake off. After takeoff, it'll be maintain DMS, climate DMS, flaps up, fuel pump off, landing lights off. Alright, I am ready if you are.
I'm ready. Let's go straight out.
Alright. Set this up here.
The plan is straight out, climb 3,000 feet.
Climb 3,000 straight out, alright. Dixon traffic 826, 4 members departing runway 35 and staying in the left close pattern for Dixon.
But we're actually going straight out to 3,000 feet. So just say we're departing straight out.
Okay, Dixon traffic 826, 4 members departing 35 and departing straight out, runway heading to 3,000 feet. Alright, final's clear.
Final's clear.
Everything's set, looks good. And we're just going to double check our heading coordinator, or heading indicator, as we line up on 3-5 here. And that over just a little bit, there's 3-5. 355 looks good. 345. Alright. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Alright. Looking for oil pressure, fuel pressure, and 60 miles per hour. We have 60. RTO. Throttle back. Alright, we have our engine back. Projected takeoff. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a 180 and taxi back.
If you want to. We've got plenty of room if you want to keep going. It's no difference to me.
Just so I have extra pavement. Dixon traffic 826, 4 number rejected takeoff, and back taxiing on runway 35.
So in this area, there's multiple runways that have airports that have 3-5.
Okay.
So you definitely want to say Dixon traffic before and after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm forgetting that today.
Yeah. And something else I recommend that you do is when you're rolling down the runway, you had to stay kind of forward. I would keep it a little more back, a little more in the neutral position.
Okay.
You want to have the nose where it's not wheelbarrowing into the ground.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep, no, that's a good point. Dixon traffic 826, 4 numbers departing runway 35 Dixon. Alright, before takeoff checklist is complete, hot items are complete. Heading looks good, I'm good to go. Alright, we have 60. RPMs are good, oil pressure's good. We have 70, 75, rotate. Climate DMS. Flaps up. Climate DMS. Landing light off. Fuel pump off. We got a reduction in power. There it is, push. Carb heat. We're looking for a place to land. I don't have my power back, but I've got a little bit of speed. Looking for any place to land here. Got a little field to the right. We're able to maintain altitude. Alright, fuel pump on. Change mags. Nothing's working, we're gonna land it here. 10 degrees of flaps. We'll land it to the right on this field.
Okay, very good. You can go around.
Okay, going around. Nose down. Flaps up. Slowly. Flaps up. Turning that off. Fuel pump off. And I'm gonna go and turn back towards the airport now.
Okay. Just fly this heading.
Alright, flying this heading.
We're gonna fix that camera real quick. I got the airplane.
You got the
I got
airplane.
the airplane. Fix the camera.
You got the airplane.
I got the airplane. So, yeah, you go.
Okay.
Alright, you got the airplane?
I got the airplane.
You got the airplane. Alright, you just entered a cloud layer.
Okay.
You are now IMC.
Alright, I'm IMC. I'm declaring emergency. I'm on the gauges. I'm going to continue to climb. Declaring emergency. I continue to climb. Climbing. I'm on the gauges.
What are your action items at this point?
My action items are to declare an emergency and let somebody know where I'm at and what I'm doing, and continue to fly the airplane away from the Earth and continue to stay at or above the EMS.
Okay, very good. You're back in the visual conditions. Let's fly heading 180.
Alright, 180 visual conditions.
And let's climb at 3,000 feet.
3,000.
While we're climbing here, I have a suggestion on your rotate.
Okay.
Is I was pulling it back.
Yeah.
Did you notice how your hand was floating?
Yeah.
Above the throttle.
Yeah.
Dixon
That actually-
Super code departing runway 35, intersection departure at Alpha 3.
Fun to him.
Color traffic, I'm on 2442, Charlie, that's Dayton, runway 5.
So that was a Super Cub departing runway 35 from Alpha 3. I'm not sure where he said he was going. We should probably ask him.
Okay.
Super Cub at Dixon.
Yeah, Super Cub at Dixon. This is 826 Portable. Just a couple miles to the east of the airport. What's your plans for departure?
Immediate departure.
Ask him what direction.
Okay, yeah. What direction are you going?
I'm departing the pattern speed.
I'm departing on 35 northbound, and then I'll turn south, left traffic.
Did you catch what he said?
Yeah.
Hey, what's the next up? 36.
If I was by myself, I would ask him to repeat, but I'm going to ask you since you're here.
Sure. All right, let's turn right heading of 290.
Okay, 290.
Hey, one Quebec, turning left downwind, 36.
So anyway, the thing I was saying, your hand, when it's not on something,
Yeah.
has this psychological kinesthetic reaction that actually makes you confused. So the reason you were kind of slow to react on that rotate was actually because your hand was not on something.
Yeah.
So you want to keep your hand on something, be it up here or on your leg, and actually grab it.
Yeah.
That actually helps to give this physiological, psychological connection of confidence and knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
Because floating is always being bounced around, right?
Yep.
So I recommend you keep your hand firm in whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'll say the. Normally it would have been on the throttle quadrant, but I was giving you some space, but I should have put my hand somewhere else.
Sure. It would have caused you to make quicker decisions on it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you kind of veered to the other direction, right?
Yeah. All right. 290 over the airport here.
Hey, one Quebec, left base, 36, Shepherdville, full stop.
And that Super Cub is departing to the south. Oh, there's a lost thrust takeoff, or lost thrust. And we're maintaining DMS.
Traffic in
Garbage
opposition,
off.
I'm turning out to the west.
Fuel
To
pump.
make room for you to come in, I see you on my scope.
Push tanks, pictures, Rich. Throttle, I got nothing. Switch mags. Okay, I don't have my engine. Got no engine.
Had the Super Cub in sight.
Okay, I see him. Dixon traffic 826, one for simulated engine failure over the airport for runway 35, Dixon. Alright,
Hey,
I'll
Dylan,
take it.
my headset battery died. Do you have any extra batteries?
I'm gonna look for runway 35 here. Engine failure, declaring emergency.
Did you hear me?
Low traffic, Glitter 71 is 8 miles to the southeast of the airport, 2,500 feet. I just final for the Arnold
10-20. 30 degrees of flaps. Dixon traffic 8261, returning final for runway 35, split engine failure, Dixon.
Go around.
Going around. Dixon traffic 826, we're going around runway 35, Dixon. Hang it off. Fuel pump off, climb at DMMS. Maintain DMMS.
Alright, very good. Let's join left close pattern and set it for a nice long stabilized final.
Alright, left close pattern, stabilized final. Dixon traffic 826, returning left crosswind for runway 35, full stop Dixon.
Aircraft overfull, you on inspiration 55 Lima.
Yeah, I cannot understand that guy.
Notice how you're putting in an opposite aileron? That means you've actually got too much rudder.
Okay.
So you've got right aileron. That means put a little bit of right rudder in. You
Okay.
actually won't have to use as much aileron.
Gotcha. Alright, I'm coming up to 1900. Dixon traffic 826, turning left downwind runway 35, full stop Dixon. And Super Cub, what's your position? Are you still in the pattern?
No, sir, I'm southbound.
Alright, thank you. Alright, we're gonna level off here.
Yeah, Super Cub, I'm currently 2,700 feet over the town of Dixon and turning out to the south.
Rudder.
Alright, traffic pattern altitude, we're on the left downwind. No traffic on base or final that I can see. Alright, before landing checklist, landing lights on, fuel pump on, mixture's rich. Flaps as required. Oil pressure's good, we're on
Fuel traffic, clear 393 Mike.
Fullest tank, check.
Runway 26, back to Barnav, full stop, Hopkinsville.
And before landing checklist, mixture rich, landing lights off, or landing lights on, fuel pump on, fuel full tank, flaps as required. Before landing checklist complete. 10 degrees of flaps. And 20 degrees of flaps. Dixon traffic 826, 4 numbers turning left base for runway 35, full stop Dixon. Alright, we're a DMMS airplane, we're not breaking DMMS. The 4-lane checklist is complete. Here comes 30 degrees of flaps. Probably should have extended the downwind a little bit further for that 1.5 mile Stabilize final, but this is going to be just about a mile here.
Just so you know, this is actually 40.
40, okay.
Murray County traffic,
25 and 40.
672, left downwind, runway 6.
Final's clear.
Go, Murray County.
Turning final. We're still a DMS airplane
So
until
traffic glitter
stabilize on
71,
final.
off up and down on Yankee 36, Joseph.
Final is clear.
Captain, they're still out of service.
Okay, Patrick's still out of service. Dixon traffic 826, one of them is on a half-mile final for runway 35, full stop Dixon. Alright, we're a VREF airplane now. We're VREF plus.
Hopkinsville traffic, clear 3 Gulf Mike, 5 mile final, runway 26, full stop. Hopkinsville.
Still VREF plus 5. I'm going around. That's off. You bump off. Flaps up. Alright, that was
Pretty gnarly.
pretty gnarly. Was not as coordinated and stabilized as I should have been.
Once you get on downwind, I'm gonna give you a tip on how you make it never happen again.
Okay.
This will like change your life on landings.
Alright, sounds great. Dix traffic 826, we're going around and staying in the pattern 435 for a full stop.
Murray County traffic, Skyhawk 672, left.
Hopkinsville, Christian County traffic, clear 3 Gulf Mike is 3 mile final, 26, full stop.
There it is, push.
Christian County.
Copy. Push tanks. I got nothing.
Very good. Go around.
Alright, going around. Tanks around both. Put back to the right tank. Let fuel pump on for a second here. RV's off.
Murray County traffic, Skyhawk 35672, final, runway 6. Let's
Turning
go, Murray
crosswind.
County.
Crosswind's clear. Dixon traffic 826, one of us on the left crosswind, turning left downwind, runway 35, full stop Dixon.
Looks like we're clear to the right.
To the right?
Yeah, I said we're clear to the right. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, clear to the right.
So while you're turning here, let me go ahead and give you that tip for downwind, or for final for landing there.
Yep.
You were trying to force the airplane down. You were trying to make it land.
Yeah.
What I want you to do, Dylan, is when you have the airplane at that position, a few feet off the runway, your whole job is to make it not land.
Okay.
I want you to say the words, don't land, don't land, don't land, don't land, and actually stick back, and don't land, don't land, don't land, don't land, don't land, don't land, don't land.
Is 7 miles
Right?
to the
Yep.
east, maneuvering for the 45.
I also want you to bring your throttle to completely idle once you are over the threshold.
What's over the threshold?
Threshold.
Okay.
It needs to be idle no later than over the threshold.
Okay.
Try that and say don't land, don't land, don't land, like several times.
Yep.
And actually don't let the airplane land.
Alright.
You'll grease it in, man.
Sounds good.
Guaranteed.
Okay. I will not let it land. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, we're on downwind, everything's configured. We're gonna get ready to do our before landing checklist. We're on the right tank, which is the fullest tank, so that's good. Go and do our before landing checklist. Landing us on, fuel pump on, mixtures rich, flaps as required.
Outgoing traffic, Cessna 19212, 7 miles to the southwest, heads down, touch and go, runway 3, Baja County.
Alright, there comes 10 degrees.
Humboldt traffic, Cessna 19701, turning left downwind for runway 4, Humboldt traffic.
We'll use this tower as our 2 mile final marker. Go around this guy.
Would suggest putting your power at about 1700 RPM.
17, okay.
I think that will give you a bit of a better sync rate. Won't go quite so high.
Sounds good.
Now, of course, since we're so far out, you may have to add it back in later.
Yeah.
But for now, I think it will help. It's just a pro tip.
Okay. Dixon traffic 826, 4 numbers on a left base for runway 35, full stop Dixon. Alright, got the tower in sight, we're around it. Gonna be a little bit low.
That's great. It did get us down where we wanted to be. Now we're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. And turning by finals clear, check the gear. 4-lane checklist is complete. We got 2 more notches laps to go. Almost 20 degrees, 25.
Lawrenceburg traffic, we're 99 flying over midfield into the downwind for runway 35.
And we're a VRF airplane. We got 45 degrees of flaps, or 40 degrees of flaps. 4-lane checklist is complete. For a VRF airplane, we're VRF plus 13 now. VRF plus 10 now.
Murray County traffic, south 25672, left downwind, runway 6, time to go, Murray County.
Just remember, go close the throttle over the threshold. Let it go down about a foot or so off the ground.
Okay.
And then just don't let it land. Okay?
Alright.
Remember, landings are like farts. If you get to force it, it's probably crap.
That's right.
Say the words.
Don't let it land, don't let it land. There we go, we survived that one. Alright, we're gonna clear the runway, make our announcement. Dixon traffic 826, 4 numbers, clear runway 35, Dixon. And we're gonna hold short here, do our after landing checklist.
Other side of the line.
Other side of the line.
You want to be on the solid part of the line.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Alright. Parking brake is set, after landing checklist. Oh, that's after takeoff. After landing checklist, stop after clearing the runway. Flaps are flaps up. Picture lean, taxi. Car beat is off. Fuel pump off, landing light on, off. Trim set for takeoff. Good. Transponder standby. Okay, and we're good to taxi back to the FBO. Dixon traffic 826, 4 numbers taxiing back to the FBO via Alpha 3, Dixon.
All right, so good job on the flight. Let's just go and start from the very beginning.
Okay.
Before taxi checklist was great, no problems with that. You went out, did what you're supposed to do, no distractions. We cleared left, we cleared right. I helped you with that. I looked over and I cleared, and working as a team, that was good. While we were taxiing, no problems there. Run up was great, all that was fine. On your takeoff, rejected takeoff was absolutely fine, no problems with that. I pulled the mixture at about 20 or 30 knots, and you boarded absolutely no problems. We stopped, taxied back, went back out to the end of the runway, no problems there. On the second takeoff that we did, that was the not the rejected, that was the rotot. That was the reduced thrust, reduction of thrust on takeoff. We did that one. That was good. On that one, I pulled the thrust back from full throttle to about 23, and I noticed it seemed like she was a little bit slower on the response of it, but you still recognized it after I pulled it back a little bit more to make you notice it just a little bit more. So it's important not just to see the RPM loss, and to hear it, but also to feel it. You want to use all of your senses that you can to be able to recognize when you are reducing some kind of thrust at all.
Yeah, 23. I still almost had a little bit of climb with 23. So I was kind of, my hand was hovering, and I lowered the nose and kept my airspeed alive. That was the really the main thing that I want to hit. But I was definitely a little bit slow.
That's true. You did good on that. And that does bring up one interesting point. When you have, this is a pro tip for everybody here too, is when you have your hand over the throttle, just hovering, not doing anything, it actually sends this like physical, psychological, some kind of signal to your brain that actually causes you to slow down. It gives you like a hit of adrenaline. It makes you kind of, it makes it a lot harder to react quickly, because it sends its confusing signals to your brain. I'm not a biologist or anything like that. I don't know how it works. All I know is that it happens.
Okay.
So I would suggest, if you're not on the throttle, you're completely off.
Yep.
Grab the yoke, grab your knee, grab a throttle, grab something, but you'll actually react quicker if you have your hand gripping something. So I recommend that.
Sounds good.
Continuing on with the rotate, you took off, we brought the power back, you lowered the nose, you unloaded, that was perfect, no problems with that, you went through your flows. I would say it's quick. It's more important initially to get pointed towards the field you want to go to, but more so than it is getting your flows done instantly. The more important thing is get the plane pointed somewhere, and while you're doing that, then do that. I think you kind of swap it a little bit, but overall you did do the most important thing, which was to unload, because that's the most important thing. We can live with everything else. Right. Did you have any questions on that one?
No. I think finding the field is the most important thing. Keeping the nose down, keeping your speed. And the flows should follow immediately after that. So
exactly, that's good. On the go around from that, no problems there. Oh, you actually got distracted. Actually, you did not get distracted when the camera on the left side fell off and into your lap. You handled that perfectly. I didn't even plan that. That was wonderful. Yeah. So you were able to work through that, and then we swapped the controls. You fixed the camera. I gave you back the controls. No problems. Right. The next one that we did was the unintentional entering of IMC after takeoff. We entered the cloud deck, and you got immediately on the instruments. You said what you were going to do. I asked you, what are your action items? And you said, my action items, I'm going to fly this heading, I'm going to climb, declare an emergency, talk to ATC, get help. 10 out of 10, would recommend. That was great. Cool. After that, we got back out of the clouds miraculously, and we climbed to 3,000 feet on a heading of 180. We climbed out. We did some communicating with a Super Cub that was in the pattern. He was kind of hard to hear, so we had to kind of communicate back and forth and figure out what was going on with that. And I helped with the communications there, but that was no problems. It was very good. My phone's going off. Let me shut that up. There we go. That was great. No problems there. We climbed up over the field of 3,000 feet, and I chopped the engine on you. Yeah. Right? You immediately pitched for DMMS, which is basically your glide speed. You got down, did your flows, and started maneuvering to make the runway. Now, you did come in just a little bit high, but that's better than coming in too low, right? So it's always easier to bleed off energy than it is to create more. Exactly. So that was good. I gave you a bit of a distraction on the descent over the runway. We did a the runway's right here, and you kind of came in like this, and as you were turning around to kind of join downwind, what I did is I asked you for some headset batteries, because my headset died. Right. Of course, my headset didn't die, but I just want to give you a scenario. Right. And you didn't respond to me. I asked you again, you didn't respond to me. Now, I know that is you flying the plane. However, I would recommend that if that happens to you, instead of completely ignoring, just say, hey, stand by. Or, hey, give me a second, I'm flying the plane. Right? That way, you'll shut up your passengers that are bothering you, because they'll keep pestering and pestering and pestering you until you lay it down. You got to lay down the law for them. Other than that, we came back around, made a nice good approach. It was high, flaps, speeds were all great. Came down to do the power off landing. We get down about 50 or so feet off the ground.
Pretty low.
It was pretty low.
Yeah.
And I said, go around. You put full throttle in. You kept the nose down. You didn't jerk it up real fast.
Yep.
You built up your speed. And once your speed was good and you were starting to climb out, you got your flaps, climbed out of DMMS, and it was beautiful.
Cool.
No problems there.
Sweet.
Coming out of that departure, came back up around, joined the pattern.
Yep.
I had to do a nice, normal, stable approach. On that stable approach, the PAPI lights were not working, which was actually a NOTAM for this airport. So we actually kind of knew about that, but it was kind of hard to remember because it's common to have PAPIs, right? So we came around and did a stable approach. That approach ended up being just a little bit on the high side, probably because of the PAPIs being out and just the mindsets that was happening. Came a little bit high, so touched on the fast side, and made the landing. The landing was a bit nose low and caused the plane to kind of wheelbarrow a little bit.
Yeah.
So you made the right decision, and you did go around after you touched the first time.
Yep.
Great job on that, and the go around was perfect as well. You kept the nose down, built up your speed, cleaned it up once you had it underneath altitude.
Yep.
It was perfect.
Cool.
And while we were on that go around, I thought, you know what, this is a great opportunity to see how you do with a loss of thrust on takeoff, having already done reduced thrust.
Yeah.
So I did that, chopped the throttle at about 400 or 500 feet, and you immediately, there it is, push, nose down, did your flows, aim for a field, it was beautiful. And then I had you go around, that was good.
Yep.
Came back around to the pattern again to a nice normal landing. And on this one, we had you come in just a little bit slower, still above VREF until epi proper time, but that landing was much nicer. So overall,
Hard to get worse than the first one.
It was hard. It was hard to get worse, but overall, I think you did a great job. You're not a perfect pilot,
Right.
but none of us are. But you're a safe pilot, and that's the
Right.
important thing.
Yep.
So as long as we're able to keep building on the skills that we have, and realizing that every flight is an opportunity to learn on how we can improve ourselves, you're going to be great. Me, I'm a professional pilot, right? I fly all sorts of different things. And every single time I fly an airplane, I think, what could I have done a little bit better?
Yep.
It sounds cliche, but I actually do it. So if you were to ask the guys that I fly with in the jet or flying piston singles, twins, float planes, anything, even when I'm flying with Dan in the DC-3, I'm always saying, what could I have done better about that takeoff, that landing, that opportunity?
Yep.
That's the mindset you want to have.
Okay.
So other than that, I think you did great. I'll sign your logbook, and we'll go from there.
Fantastic. Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I thought you did great, man. Good
Thank you
job.
very much. Appreciate
Good
it.
job.
So there you have it, this week's ride-along video for AQP. Hope you appreciate it from mobile remote up here in Dixon, Tennessee. If you want to contribute towards these efforts, takes us a lot to get out and do this stuff. Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo will help keep us going, and we sure appreciate your help. We'll see you on the very next ride-along video for AQP for my tiny little itty-bitty fledgling YouTube channel. Dan Grider, Probable Cause.